Okay, I'm back here. So I made a few adjustments to how entities behave, and I'm launching right now just to confirm to see if everything's working correctly. Let me close that down real quick. Yeah, I went and patched both the videos together, and I'm currently in the process of uploading it. It's gonna take another hour before it's done. But so what I've did is I went into how the gun, or rather how the entity projectile behaves, which is what entity ammo extends, and I told it to pass me in the moving object position, which is what our hit was. So what I was trying to do is I was trying to set the entity's position in order to correct for impact. Apparently that's already done. I actually went through and I found the code for it. When I hit something, it resets my position to be slightly in front of whatever I hit on the projectile, so I don't have to worry about that. There is still a synchronization issue, but that'll be handled later. Right now we want to make sure that when we set off that explosion, which is handled via this, that it sets off in the correct position, which right now we are using our hit position as our actual setup here. So we ignored the X, Y, and Z of our hit, and we were passing in the position of the entity. This is why when our explosion went off, we were seeing it explode behind of where our impact was. That's because that's where the entity was when the code was called. It was slightly delayed because of whatever was happening. It didn't actually update correctly. By passing in the moving object position and utilizing its position to trigger this code, it should in theory correct things. We're going to test that hypothesis right now though. And hopefully I'm correct so I can move on to other things. So let's see. Yeah, that looked good. Positioning wasn't perfect, but it did look good. It looks good too. We're actually going to do some testing here to confirm with if our entity is flying straight. So you know, as you saw the entity fly off to the right, but our impact was still good. We were still aiming pretty much centered. I needed more ammo. Let's see. There's my ammo. So what we're going to do really quickly, I need to actually see if I hit. So we're going to bedrock. Get some stone. 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that'll work. Put that there. Do this real quick. This is how I used to test the old ICBM stuff, is I would use bedrock. It's a great way to test to see if you are hitting center, while at the same time making sure you have a testing thing to work with after you're done. So what we're going to do is we're aiming for the center there, and we want to make sure that we are indeed hitting the center. So the way to tell this is, of course, let's see, debug, what did we hit? We impacted a block. That is bedrock, by the way, because bedrock does not have a proper name. Did that delete the bedrock when it hit it? Huh. That shouldn't have happened. That's a bug. It's a pretty nasty one too. That is in Volt's engine, by the way, is where that bug is. And that is probably the fact that that code is ancient and was never updated to ignore things. So we get core, MC, I want to say prefabs. Explosive, blast. Okay, you call blast basic. Blast basic then runs. You do your Pathfinder stuff. Cool. This is why I said I already had a profiler. When I said I made that debug code, I already have a profile. It's called Blast Profiler. It does the same thing the debug code is, but it needs to be updated. Expand. Get position, get energy cost, get block of placement. Pre-place. What is pre-place? Oh, pre-place is an event call. Post-place. So Blast Basic is probably the only one that actually has proper event triggers. Set cause, do affect other, on block mapped, drop items, handle placement, get energy cost. Right here, so it checks hardness is greater than or equal to 0. Then it does energy cost and it goes -1. So where that handles block placement. And we check this to make sure energy cost is greater than or equal to 0. So that should have ignored bedrock. Okay, I don't think it's the blast code doing it. Is this doing anything? No. This code runs pretty good. Blast basic. This code is janky. So the reason I don't use the blast basic anymore, we actually use blast simple path now. Blast simple path just straight out runs better. The only reason why I keep blast basic around is blast basic is the only of all the explosive code that ricochets. It means if it hits something it cannot break, the energy just doesn't disappear. It ricochets off that wall and goes onward. This is really important because if you set this explosive off in a crowded room where it can't break that room, it will do more damage to whatever was in that room than it would do outside the room. It also means it'll flow through doors, it'll flow around corners. It works like a real explosion basically. I got it. Took a lot of research to get this to work too. And it does work. It is not performance friendly, which is the reason we don't use it much. And there's definitely something wrong with this, and I hope this is not an actual issue. The thing is, it didn't break all of the bedrock. It just broke whatever it hit. It only broke that center one. So let's do that again. What is with this that it'll break that and only that block? This is weird as hell. Okay. Something in here is telling it that when it impacts, it can break whatever block it hit. There is a piece of code in here that is doing that. It's got to be this section here. Yeah, it's this section right here. So the first block we hit, we set the null. And what we want to do, if I just do this, what will this do? I don't think this will do anything. Okay, seems to work. This is probably a bug fix I put in here a while ago to fix really dumb things. Okay, it doesn't seem to be a problem anymore, so that's a bug fixed. Who knows how long it's been in here, and who knows who's exploited that, and I apologize if somebody exploited it, but oh well, that's the downside of using stuff that has no warranties on it. Cool. Now we need to make sure we're impacting the right block. Okay, so if it impacts a block, it's unbreakable. So if it impacts bedrock, it's not going to break anything. So now we need to make sure it's impacting a block that it can break. It won't break the block it hits. That's why that piece of code's there. Okay. Instead of doing it this way, we want to go if what? How are we getting hardness right now? It's down here somewhere. There's a get energy cost method here somewhere. Okay, right here. So we're just going to get vec3 hardness. So what we're going to do, hit Control Z real quick. Come on. We're going to grab this. So we're going to go block edit equals. And then we're going to pass in edit to this. And we're going to go if edit dot hardness is greater or equal to 0, then we add it. If not, we map. This bug fix has probably already been applied to the other explosives, but we'll get a chance to test those here later. As I need to go through and test ICBM, and I need to go, both of the Volts mod packs, I need to go test the crap out of them later. And I record it as I test both of them. So not only can you see how I use the functionality of the objects, you can see what bugs I find and when I'm going to fix them. But this should work. And this should automatically, yeah, that'll do the trick. Okay, that blew that up. And if we put my piece of bedrock back in the middle, I should get this. And I'm going to make a tool, by the way, that I can reset this. Actually, no, I don't need a tool. How does one use a command block? They're not enabled, are they? I think I got to enable command blocks to use them. And I think I got them turn them off. At least I think I do. Unless they do exist and I'm just being a little ignorant of where they exist at. And I don't got any eye running, so I can't do it that way. So I was thinking, it's like I could go utilize open computers here and just attach a command block to it and do it that way, just so I can reset my workspace. Okay, so we're still getting a 0 effect off that center. So what we're going to do is just do this as a target so I can see what's going on. Still not breaking things. There's something weirdly, bizarrely broken with how this works. So I'm going to have to make sure there's a block in the middle here. This is the reason why we don't use the that Pathfinder anymore. It doesn't work. Period. And it needs a lot of work. But we do know it's hitting the right spot. But we're going to confirm this even more, which is the reason why I wanted to show this. Is I'm going to set up some debug commands. So right now we're going to get rid of this. And we are going to take this code. And we're going to set up a debug system. So we're going to put up here public static boolean debug ray trace equals false. And I'm trying to think of where I want to put this code at. And the easy answer is I'm just going to make a method for it. Public void debug. Oh, and I didn't copy. Oh, did I not copy? So when I hit Control V, I must have hit something different because yeah, I hit Control X by mistake. Or rather, I just typed in X. Okay, that's not gonna work. So I'm gonna have to redo the last couple things I did real quick. So public void debug ray trace. Put that there. And I'm going to have to calculate all of this start and end and everything myself. So I'm going to have to grab all of this. So I'm going to put this over here. And I'm going to have to grab a little bit of everything. So I'm going to need this code. Which means I'm going to need this code. Luckily I can just go entity Okay, how are we passing in start and end? So start and end is quite literally entity pause and then target. Actually, we'll put it here. So okay, this is going to be our first ray trace. This is our ray trace to see if, well, let me restart here. Okay, so this ray trace is our existing ray trace, which tells us if when we go to fire the weapon and we were firing with a ray trace ability, it shows us the path that we were actually using the ray trace with, which happens to be from the center of the player's forehead out to the target. We're going to use this one, and then we're going to use a second one. So there's going to be a second ray trace, which is our actual aim ray trace, which I wanted to just set up a second one for it. And that one's going to be a red ray trace. And this one we're actually going to end up using later for the laser pointers and stuff on weapons. This is the reason why I wanted to make it as well. This one's going to be to tell us where we're spawning the bullet from. So we're going to use the bullet start point and to the target. And we're going to make these exist for, no, we'll do 2. So yeah, that'll work, and we'll just call this every tick. So you'll see 2 lasers run at every single tick. Not a lot I can do about that. Now how we're going to call this is we're going to call this from the armory mod, gun object. And I lost my place of here. Oh, here we go. Armory, content, items, item gun. And put it right here. And we're going to go if gun dot, oh yeah, we're missing a variable. It's that thing that I put at the top of here that I had to get rid of because I forgot, mistakenly miscopied. Debug ray traces equals false. So what we're going to do is this is going to be handled via hotkey, and we're going to set up a hotkey for that. No, I want, you know what, we're just going to do it this way. Gun.debug ray traces. And we're going to go over here. I don't know why I can't access that variable. But we'll go down the method down here and we'll just set it up in the method. Wherever I put that method. Okay. So we'll do it that way. That way it'll turn itself off pretty much. So it'll hit this point and just go, oh, and it'll go to the bottom down here. And I haven't been documenting much of anything. Cool. So that's set up. Now we just got to handle it. Which, I'm trying to think if we have easy button mode for this. So we don't exactly have a keyboard handler. And let's go to the gun real quick. Does this run server side only? Yeah, it's server side only. Let's change that. So I need this part. I don't need the rest of you. And then put this here. Put this down here. So this will get us a gun instance on both sides. It'll then allow us to run it. So we can then handle this client side. And I'm trying to think of what is an easy way to turn this on and off. So we got mouse click handling. We don't have scroll wheel handling here, so we can't use the scroll button. And we want something recyclable. There's no way to do double mouse clicks. I can't say if we're clicking both left and right click. One, that would be counterintuitive because it'll be turning on and off if I'm trying to scope and then fire. So we're going to need a keyboard event. So I'm going to go to the grappling hook mod. I'm going to go recycle some of its code. Okay, it's not here. It should be down here. Okay, so I got basically a key handler that's designed to turn render code on and off. And this is really easy to set up. So we're going to just go to our gun object pretty much, and we'll handle it here. I need a last key hit code, don't I? So let me open this back up. Still that variable. I'm going to put this above here. This is not at all how you're supposed to do this. Really shitty practice. But I want to leave it down here so I know where it's at. Actually, you know what? So I don't come back to myself later and go, why did you do that? We're going to put it up here. Okay. We don't care about this. What we want to do is pretty much gun instance dot debug ray traces, and we just do that, and that'll turn it on and off. And we'll recycle the grave key for that, so that'll be good. We'll just pretty much continuously use that, and we just have to register this subscribe event. I need to check which mod this comes from. This is an FML event, so they have two different event buses in 1.7, and then in future versions they don't. So FML common handler instance bus dot register, and then this. And we're going to debug and we'll see if that turns on and off, and we can see both of our ray traces, and we don't have to worry about it being annoying. So if we're not using it, we just click grave key and we're done. I didn't have to register a key for that either. The way you're supposed to properly do keys for Minecraft is you're supposed to register with the key system. I only do that if I want to let people change keys. If I don't care if they can change keys, I don't care. So debug keys are something that I don't want people to change, so I'm doing it this way. If you want to do it properly, you need to go register via some kind of system that allows the user to change keys, or implement your own key handling system and then allow people to change it via your key handler. I'm tempted to use my own key handler because Minecraft, until I believe 1.10 or 11, does not allow you to hit things like control and then keys. Newer versions, I'm pretty sure was implemented inside Forge. It's not a vanilla feature, it is a Forge feature. Although vanilla Minecraft badly needs it itself. But oh well. And then for those who actually want those multiple keys, you guys can install not enough keys. It's made by Dmod. Not the best mod in the world. It does need a lot of work. After all, he's not a mod developer himself. He's trying to learn. He did pick the mod up from somebody else who also was trying to learn. The people who have worked on it have not been some of the best coders in the world. They've done a good job. They got it working. They got it working with some pretty cool features, and I do have to admit it functions decently well, but it does need a lot more time, love, and care. But we'll test this and we'll see how it goes. Okay, so I have a gun. Okay. So it's really hard to see that blue line. because after all, it's coming out of my face pretty much. But this does show me where I'm aiming. So this is the reason why, by the way, we don't use the red laser for aiming the projectiles anymore. See how far it's off from where I'm aiming at? The farther you get away, of course, so like it works. So it works at distance. It doesn't work here when you get really close because it's not aiming properly. The way we can fix this though, let's see. I'm in the wrong class. Don't need you, don't need you. Don't need you since we fixed you already. Actually, we can't fix it with this system. I wish we could. Actually, I know how to fix it. Moving object position. And then we need start position. So the start position is this. So this would be final pause start equals that. Put start down here. And then target. But instead of that, okay, here's our, what is our aim position? It's target. And then our world is entity.worldObject. So we're going to go, we want some endpoint. So we're going to do a pause end equals target at this moment. We're going to use this as the end as well, just to keep consistent. And then we want to go, if hit doesn't equal null, end equals new pause hit. Let me check to make sure this hasn't got some janky code. Oh no, yeah, it's got some janky code, so we can't do that. So we want hit dot hit vec. That, yeah, that'll work. And then we change this out to end. And the reason we do that is one, it's going to make this code run better, just for starters. And we do it this way. And I technically need a way to ensure that this isn't running as often, because running a ray trace per tick is not exactly the smartest move. But we're only running one, so see how that fixed itself? This is where I was, if you guys paid attention to other videos I was making, where I was thinking if I wanted a ray trace from the gun position to where I'm aiming, the way to do it would be to run the ray trace from my forehead to the target first to make sure that I'm actually hitting the right spot, then to give that in position to my other ray trace and then run that ray trace again, so that way we actually knew where we're aiming at. So we do know for sure this is functioning properly, but the rendering is not doing its job. At least that's what I think is happening. The problem with this is it's really hard to tell how this code is functioning. And you know what I'm going to also do, because this is debug code. So I can see that stupid blue line. Okay. I mean, it's doing its job. It's working well enough. It's just it's not working perfectly. If the entity is actually firing incorrectly, I need to know if what it's doing, or else we're going to end up with somebody complaining that the precision of entity-driven projectiles is not correct. But at the moment, I mean, I can't tell the difference between it. And of course, I can turn that on and off. I like how I can turn that on and off. It's really cool. You know what? I'm going to minus this by 0.5. So it looks like that's coming out of the bottom of my screen. Ah, that's much better. It's not as distracting. This is the beauty of debug code, by the way. And of course, by the way, the reason why it's doing this is client side, I rotate faster than the server updates, because these are being triggered by the server, not the client. If I was doing this via client, I could actually be really, really precise by running this on per render tick, but that's not what I'm doing. Nice purple collar. This is how you can tell that computer graphics are amazing, is that those are overlapping each other and they're merging automatically. Beauty of computer graphics. This does work, so I'm going to end the video here, and then not sure what I was going to do for the next video. I know I had an idle here. Going to take a break first, though. I'll figure something out. We'll have another video.